Hello, we are continuing our next segment, and we started out looking at this particular chart here. And this goes back to our original slide at the beginning of this particular chapter, and it was with the Think It Through. And that is found on page 39. So let's take a quick look at that at this time. Okay. So Mike works as a pharmacy technician at a local community pharmacy. Some OT drugs are behind the counter, including pseudoephedrine, 30 milligrams tablets, Sudafed, 30 milligrams tablet, Tazverin D, 12 hour, Tazverin D, 24 hour, and Alavert, 12 hours. The pharmacist told Mike he can sell these products to patients, but he has to follow federal rules governing their sale. Susan, a 50-year-old regular customer, comes in to ask Mike if he can purchase two 100 counts bottles of Sudafedrine 30 milligrams tablets. As you read this chapter, keep in mind the following questions. What is the maximum number of tablets Susan can purchase today? What is maximum number of bottles of tablets Susan can purchase within the month? So let's fast forward. And let's go ahead and take a look at the regulations. So if you say here the daily sales limit of pseudoephedrine are the following: 30 milligrams pseudoephedrine hydrochloric acid, or HCl, 146 tablets, 60 milligrams pseudoephedrine, 73 tablets, 120 milligrams pseudoephedrine, AC 36 tablets, 240 milligrams pseudoephedrine, 18 tablets. And so if we can look at page 39, what is the maximum number of tablets Susan can purchase today? Basically, the list is here. So if it is 30 milligrams, then it is 146 tablets. If it is 60 milligrams, 73 tablets, 36 tablets, 18 tablets, respectively, according to the particular chart. Okay, so she is within that limit. So basically, she can purchase only not two, because that's over the limit, but she can purchase 146. Okay, so it will be basically a half a bottle. So if you say 200 minus 146, you end up with 54. And so she's actually 54 tablets over the limit. What's the maximum number of bottles of tablets Susan can purchase within the month? Well, here you have a month supply that is given to her. So that is the limit that can be taken. So if it's 3 times a day, then you divide 3 divided by 146. And that comes out to approximately 47 pills for a month. So the maximum amount that she can purchase if she's taking it 3 times a day is about 2 bottles. Okay. Or another way of thinking about it, if she's taking 3 times a day, and she's taking 30 milligrams, so 3 times 30, which is 900, and of course that will be a little bit excessive because if she's taking it for course, it shouldn't be that long. If she's taking it for 2 times a day, it would be 30 times 2, which is 120. Okay, so if she's taking it twice a day, then that means that she could have only 1 bottle, which has 100 tablets in it, and then we'll have to get another one for the next month, plus 20. Okay, I hope that helps in understanding of what we're doing here. This is going to page number 48. And again, we'll take a quick look at the different labeling. So I'm going to point to the different. Okay, so here's my cursor here. So if you look right over here, this is your NDC number. Here's the brand name that's located right here. That is your brand name. Here, you go down a little bit further. This is your generic name. This is oxycodone and acetaminophen tablets. It's called Indocet. Okay. If you move over here, where I have my cursor, this is the substance controlled mark. This would be the barcode that is used to identify the product. This is usually designated by the pharmacy. Here you have the lot number and expiration date. This will be the legend statement. This is by prescription only. Here is a number of tablets that you will find. Here will be the manufacturer's name. Over here will be the DNA odor form requirement. Here will be the type of dispensing container required. Up here, where I have my cursor, is where you have the storage requirement. And over here are the active agreement. Okay, so you should be familiar with a sample. Well, this is not sample, with a label. Okay, and this is called a manufacturer stock label. All right, so let's go ahead and begin to talk about controlled substances. And you have different types of controlled substances. Again, this is on page 50 in your book. And Schedule 1, and these are high abuse potentials, no accepted medical use, such as cocaine or heroin. They are not to be used in a medical practice because they have no practical purposes. Schedule 2 are have high abuse potentials, and they do have acceptable medical use. And these are many of the opiates, painkillers that unfortunately killed some very popular music stars because of their overdose and abuse. And opiate painkillers have high abuse potential, but they do have acceptable uses in terms of pain control. Schedule 3, less abuse potential than above, acceptable medical use. Schedule 4, less abuse potential than above, acceptable medical use. And then Schedule 5. So again, Schedule 1, an example of that would be halogenic substances. Schedule 2, example of Schedule 2 would be opium, methadone. Example of Schedule 3 would be drugs that may have a lower psychological dependence, such as anabolic steroids, but still can be abused. Schedule 4, something like phenobarbital, which is a sedative, chlorohydrates. falls into this particular group. And then many of the over-the-counters are Schedule 5. So Schedule 5, again, these drugs are currently accepted medical use in the United States, but their abuse may lead to limited physical dependencies or psychological dependencies. Compounds containing a limited amount of narcotics, such as codeine, are such included in this group. Okay, but many of the over-the-counters fall under Schedule 5. Here again is just what we've been talking about. We have in a particular label that you find. Again, if you look here, you may have additional labels. Here it says, do not take this particular drug with grapefruit or grapefruit juice. Consult your physicians. Here is the amount of refills. Here is the quantity that's been placed within that particular container. The length of time. Medication. Atorvastatin, calcium, 20 milligrams per tablet. How to take 1 tablet by month. Patient's name is located here. The prescription number, the DEA number, the pharmacy's number, the prescriber's numbers, and the date of the prescription. So all of these are very important things that you will find associated with controlled substances. So some of the things that you want to understand, that there are many different types of regulations. There are regulations in terms of the labels, record keeping, the security for controlled drugs, the joint responsibility, and the DEA number. And we just gone over some of the labels, and it is important that manufacturers must clearly label controlled drugs with their controlled classifications. Record keeping. You must record what drugs have entered the pharmacy and what drugs are leaving the pharmacy and to whom. So accurate records must be controlled. So this is very, very important. Schedule 2 records must be kept for several years, and the other records for Schedule 3, 4, and 5 are kept for at least 2 years. Security of the drugs. Notice that when you go to a drugstore, controlled substances, those that need prescriptions, are found behind a particular counter. And that particular area is a secure area. If you go to any pharmacy when they're closed, they have a window, they have a gate that close off that particular area from the rest of the store. Joint responsibility. By law, both the prescriber and the dispenser of the prescription have joint responsibility for the legitimate medical purpose of the prescription. And then there are regulations dealing with the DEA number. All prescribers of controlled substances must have be authorized by the Drug Enforcement Agency. Prescribers are assigned a DEA number, which must be used on all controlled prescription substances. All right. So let's take a look on page 51. You have certain key forms that pharmacists must have. We talked about the labels. But the DEA Form 222 is used in order C1, C2 substances. Okay, it must be filled out in a pen, typewriter, or an indelible pencil. That means something that cannot be easily erased, and be signed by an authorized person in triplicates. So you have copy 1 that goes to the supplier, copy 2 that's forwarded to the DEA, and then copy 3 that's retained by the purchaser, for example, the pharmacy, right? And all of this is to keep a very detailed record of what is occurring. And then you have other DEA forms, such as application for new registration for a retail pharmacist, application of registration, inventory to drug surrenders if you need to return a particular drug because the drug is being recalled, report of theft or loss of controlled substances. It's something that's very important. If there's a theft or anything along that line, then it must be notified. So we have just a little bit more to go, and we will discuss that in the next segment, which will be